last but not least, I want to hear both of your top 3 suggestions around like the most important takeaways listeners should look for in hiring go-to-market talent. So, Kyle, let's start with you.
Yeah, put me on the spot. I wish I would have thought about this admittedly a little more than I did. I think, not to beat a dead horse too much, but I think, someone who's intellectually curious, I think is massive. I think it'll pay dividends for someone to being able to do the research, understand the industry and the product. I think that's massive these days in terms of just the overall function. So I think that's one. Beyond that, get it out in front of it early. I think we were talking about it earlier, but not enough companies prioritize it. And if you have the budget to hire, I don't think there's anything wrong with hiring people to build the product and people to actually go out and sell the product. Go ahead and do that arguably earlier than you need to. And then if there's anything else, try to be a little creative around it. We were talking a little bit earlier about domain expertise, and I would probably go as far as to argue that I'd rather have someone who understands the client versus the domain, if that makes sense. Certain clients have different sales cycles in terms of approvals. And I think, that may be paying bigger dividends over the long term than just someone who knows the industry inside and out. I mean, industries change so quick. And I would probably say a smart enough person is going to be able to pick up, the specific domain knowledge. And if you built the company in a way where there's enough experts in the space that are there, they're going to be able to ramp someone up.
That was
Yeah.
good for on the spot. I like
Yeah.
this.
Thank you. Well, I have a lot of good ideas that I'm hearing from you all too.
He was just messing with you. Like he was just put on the spot, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jamal, what about you?
I think the biggest thing for me as I think about the market is we talk about adaptability. I don't think I could use that word enough just because so much is changing so quickly. One, I do think, getting out of your own way at times, meaning, you're seeing what's going on. So thinking about the trends that are happening, how do you kind of stay ahead of it? Like take an AI course, right? There's a number of stuff out there. Find ways to educate yourself. So at the very least, you can fluff the language, right? You can talk the talk, if you will, right? Do that. And I'd say leverage technology. I mean, there's stuff out there. Why not leverage it? Why not leverage chat, like we said, to help maybe change some words around, but don't over index on using it for everything. And the other thing is use the heck out of your network. Like you have to find ways to get ahead. I mean, I feel like I've got a good network. I've tried to leverage it for certain things. I wish I could be better at it in certain ways, but leverage the network, right? You built it up. Also, I would say follow people in the industry that you think are doing cool stuff. Right? It's always good to kind of stay ahead of the game that way because they're going to educate you on what's going on, how to stay ahead of certain trends. I don't think people do enough of that. Well, there's people that, hey, if you think they're cool and they're doing good stuff, follow them. The stuff I got was from this guy, Jocko, who's a great go-to-market leader, who's been in a number of different startups. I follow the guy and he always has good pearls of wisdom. Andy Price from Artisanal. I like to follow him because he's in the search world. So he talked about last week around this new administration. He doesn't care if it's Democrat or Republican. There's going to be some money thrown out right now, right? So get ready because we'll probably get back to Kyle's point where, there's going to be some cash thrown around. So now companies will start hiring again. So by third quarter, that could be really beneficial for some people. So for us in the staffing world, get ready for the potential tidal wave. So I just think things like that, right? Just making sure that you kind of keep your ear to the ground is always going to be the best solution in the long run. And bet on yourself sometimes. I mean, you just said it best, right? Be an entrepreneur. Sometimes you got to just bet on yourself and go, I'm going to take this risk. I'm going to take this chance because I think ultimately it's going to lead to something. And so I have a mindset of always walking through life with your eyes open. It sounds simplistic. It sounds corny, but when you do that, you'll realize how the dots connect, right? Like how I got connected and how now Kyle and I will be connected, and you realize how you can kind of make things work from that and leverage that network that you build. So nothing just happens for any reason. Like even today, having to research some of the stuff for this call, I'm wiser now because of that, right? And so the dots will connect based on another call that I have now because of this information.